Hi, my name is Terry Weiss, and I'm the creator of Skate Armor.
And I'm Sue Johnson, and Adam Johnson is my son.
And I have a son, Mason Lorai. Both of our sons have had the privilege to play in the NHL. Sue, I remember exactly the day that you called me. It was February 8th. I was driving to Michigan for a hockey game, my daughter's hockey game, and my phone rang, and I saw that it was someone from Minnesota, and I thought, oh, it's a customer. I'm going to answer the phone. And when you introduced yourself, it didn't click at first for me. And I'd like you to share just how that happened and organically how we've become friends and how we're working together now, if you don't mind.
Yep. So it was after Adam passed. It was over a year, and I was doing a lot of thinking about neck guards and how I could help, how our family could help, what we could do regarding the neck guards. And so I did my research like Adam would always do. He always would do a lot of research and do a lot of self-teaching. And so I researched all the companies, and Skate Armor came up, and I thought, how am I going to reach out to these companies? I saw a phone number on the bottom of your website, and it was a Friday. I believe it was almost 5 o'clock on a Friday evening. And I thought, well, I'm either going to get an answer machine, maybe an administrative secretary, something. But
typical automated thing that happens, right? Press 2.
I'm not going to get a human on the phone, and it was Terry Weiss. And I'm like, oh gosh, now what do I say?
Driving in the middle of nowhere.
I just wanted you to call me back, and then I would be more prepared. So I wasn't really prepared for our conversation, and I was kind of taken back that you actually answered the phone. So I think you probably were thinking, what is she calling me, and what, I think we were both a little bit.
Yeah, it was a moment for me. I can share with you. I just, it was funny because you said, this is Sue Johnson. And I said, hi, Sue, how can I help you? And you were like, I'm Adam Johnson's mom. And then it hit me. And I said, I don't know if you remember this. And I said, I'm sorry, what is your name again? Because it just didn't seem, I don't know, I was in a cold sweat all of a sudden. And I felt so many things all at once. Like, she's calling me. I don't know what to say to her. Why is she calling me? Should I pull over? It was just a kind of an out-of-body experience for me a little bit. And you were just so kind and amazing on the phone. I just was so...
Yeah.
I commend you for reaching out and doing the research and being willing to help educate about the importance of neck guards and wearing the proper one.
Well, and didn't even know where the conversation was going to go, and you were so kind as to just take it over, and you just told me what your company was all about and what you stand for, and I just knew. I thought if Adam had to wear a neck guard, which I'm not sure he would have on his own unless it was mandated. But he would look into it. He would get the best one.
Yeah.
He would get the one that was most effective, and hands down, this was it. I believe the Mayo Clinic. When I pulled up your website, the material you used was a lot different. The shape of the neck guard was a lot different. So I thought, I'm going to just see what this is all about and what I can do to help. How I can, because I knew eventually, as hard as that year has been, I knew that we needed to do something to help promote the neck guards.
Yeah, I'm just really grateful and in awe of you taking that on, after this has happened, to have gone through that. Losing a child in any way is horrible. But I think, when you have this public thing, he was kind of a public figure on the ice, and to have people have video of it and do that. I mean, it's a challenge. It's difficult. And I just, I feel for you, and I'm amazed by your strength and your presence to do that. Can you tell me a little bit about Adam and, other than the fact he was smart and he did his research?
Well, first of all, back to the neck guards. People all along, every time there's a neck guard, anything to do with neck guards, Adam Johnson's name is attached to that. And I'll get I'll get some alerts. And then so I knew I had to do something. We had to do something with neck guards. We needed to help promote it, to help educate people. So yes, Adam, from an early age, he was a very passionate, witty, dedicated to whatever he wanted. Whatever he was doing, he needed to be the best, and then he would pretty much be done. Other than hockey.
Right.
So he did need to be the best at hockey as well, or that's what he thrived to be. All the other sports and little activities and guitar playing and everything that he just needed to do, he had a goal. When he reached the goal, then he moved on to something else that really enticed him. So
he sounds like he was always getting his hands in something and just moving forward, learning a lot. And
always learning.
Yeah.
He was what I have. You learn a lot more about a person, unfortunately, after they've passed.
Yes.
When he'd walk into the locker room or walk into a room, he just lit up the room. He always had something witty to say. He was a man of few words, but what he said really made an impact. So he made people laugh. People looked up to him. He wasn't always real happy. So they would kind of call him the old grouch or the grandpa or the
old man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
But he was just always really looked up to and
admired. It sounds like just
Yeah. His last few years, he met the love of his life. It really it warms my heart to know that his plans, he had all of his plans made. It warms my heart and it makes me very sad at the same time. But his fiance and him, they made so many plans. Adam was going to shortly, I think that would have been his last season, and then he was going to move on and become a farmer. We had no
Very
clue.
Cool. Love farmers.
Yeah. I thought you guys had that in common. But he would do the research as to like how many cows you need for so many acres and how many chickens and da. So he really researched being a farmer. So him and Ryan, his fiance, they had a lovely future.
Yeah, they had a plan.
Out.
Yeah. He sounds like he was really smart. I mean, I admire people that will do that type of research, because so many of us will just be like, well, kind of superficial, and then I'll figure it out. But with that, that's and it's, I mean, not to bring it back, but just with Skatomore, I did the same thing, right? I did a lot of research. I found the SpectraGuard, and I just, I wanted to make something to avoid what happened to Adam. I don't want that to happen to anyone else. It's really near and dear to me, with my son playing and my daughter who played, and any kid. When I talk to parents who've had a child who suffered an injury like this, it's traumatic, and it's hard to move on from. And the ones that have happened in the NHL, those players have never come back the same. They've suffered from post-traumatic stress, and I think one of the things that's really important is we talk about the hockey players and, you have to wear this now, right? Not in the NHL, of course, but I think the guys in the NHL need to know too. You may have your feeling about wearing an extra layer of protection, but could you please keep in mind that you have your moms and your dads and the people who love you, and maybe your wives and your children who are watching you play, and think about them and give them the peace of mind knowing that you're protected from this, versus the possibility of you suffering this injury. Right. I just don't want to, I really don't want to talk. I love speaking with you, and I'm glad that we've become friends, but I don't want to have another conversation with a parent whose child has either died from this or suffered this, because it's so difficult when I know, and I've been trying for 16 years to get them mandated and get the proper neck laceration protection, which is the right way to say it, out on kids.
Right. Well, I knew you had a passion because your company is I'm not sure how many years what year you started, but it's been multiple years. So I knew you had a passion for this, not just since Adam. It's been a long time that you truly have a passion for protecting the kids.
Yeah, it's been.
So thank you for that passion that you have.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. It's been a challenging, road. And we've talked about it, but collar-shaped neck guards, in the design is inherently flawed, right? Because a collar-shaped neck guard, kind of like what I'm wearing now, sits on the neck and it doesn't cover your carotid and jugular in the important parts, right? Down low, okay. But you can put a collar-shaped neck guard on, and because of the state of play, you're sweating from your head, your neck guard sinks. So you're getting less coverage and being more exposed to what could be, a life-ending injury.
Right.
So when I designed, our neck guard, Skate Armor, I did it so we have a patented little rubber tabs. They cover up to your carotid and jugular. And then we have a truly cut-resistant fabric that was developed by Honeywell for the Department of Defense.
That was very impressive.
Thank you.
When I
Yeah,
actually
it
see
was-
that is truly a protection.
Yeah, it was I was like arm wrestling to try and get that fabric at the time away from them to use it. So we are the only company that uses SpectraGuard. It's made in the USA, and also it has to be cut with a laser. I'm pretty sure every other company that makes a neck guard out there, they have cut-resistant material, but they're cutting it with a fabric cutter. So to me, that was always a sign that that's really not what you want.
Right.
So really, it was the cut resistance and the coverage. And selfishly, my son that drove me to do it, because he's the one that said, if you make one, I'll wear it, Mom.
So tell me more about Mason.
You're so nice to ask. So he plays for for the Bruins in the NHL. He just finished his first year. He's inquisitive like your son.
Yeah.
Not as much though. And he is very creative. That's one thing I would say when asked about him. So, and I'm creative. And so when he said to me, Mom, I don't wear my current neck guard. He was 9 and he had suffered a cut. It was more of an abrasion to his neck from a stick blade. And when he came home, I said, what happened? And he told me, and I said, were you wearing that neck thingy I bought you?
Yeah.
And he goes, no. And I said, why not? And he said, because it sucks, Mom. And I said, take it out of your bag. Let's look at it. So we took it out and I looked at the design and I was like, you're right. There was foam in it that holds on to sweat. It was rough on the edges. It was small. And I took it into the kitchen and I put it on the cutting board. I remember this like it was yesterday. And I took my knife, like the knife I cut chicken with, and I took it across and it cut right through it. And Mason was in the other room and I walked into the other room and I put my thumbs through the holes and I said, Mason, look at this. And he's like, that's not supposed to happen. And I said, no, it's not. And that's when he said, if you make me something, I'll wear it.
Wow.
So for me, that was kind of like, okay, he's
That was
putting
your
me up to the
motivation.
challenge of
Yeah.
doing that. And I just, when you see that had to hurt, right? And you think about every day you're getting, sticks and pucks are flying. So I don't know. I just felt really strongly that I could give me peace of mind if my kid was wearing something
Sure.
more
Yeah.
protective. And, now that he's in the NHL, he won't wear one, which really bothers me.
And that's what that's one of the reasons we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, NHL players have the presence, right? They have the followers. If they were able to realize that this is something that, they're going to make their kids wear if their kids are playing. And I would think that you would want your child wearing the best protection, especially in this area. If you're cut in your neck, you cannot tourniquet that. If you're cut anywhere else on your body, you can tourniquet that.
Yeah.
And so
I'm hoping that now that they're mandated to have to wear them. I'm hoping that it's just becomes another piece of equipment once they get to the NHL.
Yes.
So they just all
They're
eventually
just wearing
will
it.
wear them.
Yeah, that makes it would be
So,
nice, but
yeah.
I'm really trying, again, selfishly for me, with my son playing, and I've seen cuts and all sorts of parts of the body, but I just feel so strongly that you have to realize, you've got a major artery up in your neck, and you should cover that. However you decide, cover it safely. Yeah, I mean, I did my best to make a product that would do that, and I would love for somebody to make something that's even better. And I would love for NHL players to actually start to say, yeah, if my son or daughter who's playing has to wear one, I'm going to wear one too. And ideally it's skate armor. Collar-shaped neck guards, again, they're flawed. They can deflect the blade further up to the neck, which is very dangerous. That just happened to a young boy in Wyoming. I don't know, did you see
Yes,
that?
I did. Yeah.
So
it's just
it's just interesting when I see it, and also it hurts me a little bit too. So I just think it's very important to get our message out, and I want people to really understand that we both want to work on educating the hockey community about the importance of wearing proper neck laceration protection.
And even to try different ones. If it's too uncomfortable, I don't, or I know that there's some that don't really cover the whole neck, but for everybody to just do their homework on it,
Yes,
and then get one that's
absolutely.
comfortable, and then just wear it.
Right.
Yeah, whatever that happens to be. But to know that there's others out there than just the common,
Right. Smaller one that the kids will tape down and do all that.
Yeah.
And no, I absolutely agree with you. And again, I really appreciate you taking the time to come
you.
and do this.
Yeah, thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah,
because
well,
it's
thank
very
you too.
impactful. It's very impactful.
I think we're a good team.
Yeah.
So we'll go get wine after this, and then we'll feel like an even better team. So
Yes, for sure.
thank you, Sue.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you, Terry.
Sure. Please consider joining us as we honor Adam's memory, and also, in honor of the people who love you and watch you play hockey. Please consider wearing proper neck laceration protection. Do your research. Think about the people who love you and watch you play and enjoy watching you play. And then these same people will enjoy watching you live the rest of your life when you're done playing hockey. Thank you.
Parents and players, I just ask that you do your research and you do wear the neck guard. You take it seriously, and you just wear one that's comfortable and effective. So that's what I ask of you.
Sue, I know that you and your family started a foundation for a memorial fund for Adam. And one of the things I felt strongly about, and was glad to hear that you had done that, Skate Armor, we donate $1 for every neck guard or shirt or wrist guard that we sell. We donate to the memorial fund, and I just thought maybe you'd want to talk a little bit about that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and thank you so much. That's so generous of you to give
My
that.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's I've already seen some that the effects of that through the foundation. So we're working hard. Yeah. So thank you. The foundation, it's the Adam Johnson Memorial Fund. It's through the foundation in Grand Rapids, and we started it right away. People have been so generous. We've been able to give. Adam went to the University of Minnesota Duluth in Minnesota.
Bulldog.
Bulldogs. Yeah. So he. So we're giving a scholarship next month to.
Very nice.
Yeah. I can't say who it is,
Good,
but we're really excited to give that scholarship for a Hibbing person that is going to UMD next year.
Okay.
We've been giving to some summer hockey camps, Bulldog camps, the Scott Pion camp. We have given to the YMCA. They requested neck
wonderful.
guards.
Yeah.
So we have given back the neck guards already. And we just hope to grow it. We're doing a golf scramble next month as well to raise money for the Adam Johnson Memorial Fund.
So any hockey players that are in Minnesota, there can't be many of them. They should be doing this, I think,
they
right?
should, yes. But yeah. Golf tournament.
Very cool. Yeah, they should be doing the golf tournament.
It's pretty
so
much
many
full
hockey
already.
players.
It is, yeah.
Okay,
but
well,
we have some great things
for next year. the next year
year.
they'll do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, good. I'm glad that you did that.
Yeah. The foundation is very dear to my heart, and it's we're just going to keep trying to raise money for that because we want to give back.
Yeah.
And we want Adam's memory.
Yeah.
And
What a great way to honor him.
Right.
It's a great way to share.
Yes.
So, Sue, if people wanted to learn more about the Memorial Fund, how would they access that?
Well, they could just Google the Adam Johnson Memorial Fund.
Okay.
You are going to put a link, or you have a link on your Skate Armor site, which thank you for doing that.
No problem.
And they would be able to access it that way.
Okay, great. Hopefully they'll visit it, learn more about Adam, a little bit more,
Yeah.
and donate.
Yes.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take this moment to go over and explain, compare Skate Armor right here to a national brand and break down, the coverage of it. So I think first and foremost, like I just said, is coverage. So if you look and compare these two, your carotid runs underneath your ear at an angle this way, right? So really important to cover that as best as possible. So our Skate Armor one, it has natural rubber tabs, so it won't roll. If it rolls down, it flips right back up, right? This is patented. There's nothing here on this brand to cover this. And in fact, collar-shaped neck guards have been known to sink down during the state of play. So this, by the second period, is going to be a little bit lower on the neck. Skate Armor doesn't do that because of our bib, which serves that purpose, but also you have brachial veins that run down in your shoulder and around your clavicle. If you cut those, that's very dangerous as well. So we've made sure to have full circle cut protection in the front, the sides, and the back of the neck. And again here, the collar shaped clearly does not do that. So we've done our best to create a product that gives you the ultimate coverage of the important and vulnerable areas of your neck. And then just the cut resistance, we use SpectraGuard. That's what the Mayo Clinic tested and found to be the most cut resistant in neck guards. So I appreciate you listening, educating yourself further, and please just make the right choice for you and your family. Thank you. I wanted to take a moment to talk about the comfort of Skate Armor versus national brands. I think one of the best things to do is just sort of the scratch test. I'm going to turn it. You can hear kind of the rough material that they use. It's both on the outside and the inside of the neck guard. For Skate Armor, we use a very light, moisture-wicking, breathable polyester spandex fabric. And I'm going to take this off because you can just see, right? When I designed it, I wanted it to be like a t-shirt. I wanted it to be very comfortable and fit well. So it fits very well around the neck, and it's just very soft and comfortable. I'll take this one off quickly, and you can see the way this one moves versus the way ours moves. So hockey is a game of movement, and I really tried my best in creating Skate Armor to make it so it would be very comfortable and move with the game of hockey. Another unique thing about Skate Armor is we also incorporate a removable impact piece, which is an impact dispersion piece. So you might get hit with a stick or a hockey puck. It takes the sting out of it because it disperses the impact of it. We also made it so it completely covers the front of the neck and also the sides up through here. The natural rubber tabs that we have here, the impact piece also comes up and then it sits over these tabs. And you insert it through the front of the neck guard. You just open this hook and loop piece, Velcro piece up, and you shove it in there like you're stuffing a turkey. And it's actually really amazing stuff. It's lightweight. We've designed it so it's breathable, and it can really save you. Once you take a puck to the neck, it's something that you should definitely consider wearing.